Sid, plenty to discuss. Let's start in Barcelona. Coutinho's agent has come out and said he's staying. We know Griezmann's staying. We know Messi's staying. It seems like some of the other guys that they're trying to get rid of, though, is not going so well. It's a pure mess in Barcelona on the eve of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. And one of the reasons why it becomes difficult to get rid of players is because you say publicly that that's what you want to do. And that, by definition, changes the nature of the market. It makes it very hard to encourage those players out. It makes those players even more determined because they feel mistreated in some cases to stick and to push and to try and make sure they get the best possible payoff before leaving. I guess one thing I would say at this point is that it's still almost a month until the end of the transfer window. So there is still time for this. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Right now, Barcelona are in a position where those players they wanted to move on, they're finding rather hard to budge.
Of all those players, boy, the biggest head scratcher for me anyway has to be Coutinho. I mean, what can we possibly expect from him at Barcelona, Ale?
According to Ronald Koeman, a lot. And according to Barcelona, yes, this guy's been in our plans this whole time. This is the guy. He is the man. Well, you took that position because, of course, you didn't know whether Lionel Messi was going to be back. You thought that was going to be the case. You hoped that would be the case, but you never really knew that with some certainty. And so you had to bank on somebody. And so, of course, it would be obvious for Ronald Koeman to say, well, you know that guy that was playing for Bayern Munich? Well, okay, coming off the bench, but still playing with Bayern Munich. You know that guy that won Champions League? Okay, coming off the bench and winning Champions League, but still somehow Coutinho, for Ronald Koeman, for Barcelona, becomes an important player. Well, now that has shifted a little bit because, well, Lionel Messi is back with Barcelona, and he is going to play, and Antoine Griezmann is going to play. And so where does Coutinho fit in? What do you do with Dembele? What do you do with Ansu Fati? And so for all the need areas that you have for Barcelona, which are actually from the midfield back, you have a surplus of players from the midfield going forward. Those are decisions that Ronald Koeman is going to have to make, and one that he hasn't handled all that well because let's just not forget that he came in saying, Luis Suarez, nah, we don't want you, we don't need you. Arturo Vidal, nah, we don't want you, we don't need you. And so if those guys are not going anywhere just yet, then, hey, what are you going to do? And how do you manage? How do you massage the situation? It's all right there for Ronald Koeman to decide.
You talk about the areas of need, Ale, and Sid, I'll come to you on this. Memphis Depay is a player that they seem to be obsessed with. Shouldn't they be focused on other parts of the field?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's bizarre, isn't it, to see them chasing midfielders and chasing forwards when the problems are at the other end. It is true, of course, that they're trying to get Garcia from Manchester City, and I think that will probably run to the very end of the transfer window, not least because they're fairly confident that they would get him next year for free. And that, of course, by definition, puts some pressure on Manchester City. But yeah, it does feel like they're chasing the wrong positions. And bear in mind as well, of course, that you have plans and then you have a reality. And one of the reasons why Coutinho is still there is because, as they discovered last summer, getting a good transfer fee for him isn't easy. If there isn't a market, then there does become a time at which you look at your squad, you look at your players, and if you've got someone like Coutinho who you're obviously trying to sell, and you think, well, we can't really find a place for this guy, so what do we do? Tell you what, we could always try playing him, and of course that's the position they're in now.
All right, Sid, you know I love your work, but I read your article on our website. You have compared what's going to happen with Lionel Messi in Barcelona in the coming months to Michael Jordan's last dance. Come on. That team won it all and was one of the best teams in NBA history. You surely cannot expect that from this year's Barcelona.
No, you can't expect that from this year's Barcelona, but this is the ideal scenario now. How do you fix a situation like this? Well, maybe you build emotionally and mentally an agreement, a kind of a collective agreement that says, right, we're in this together. It's true that we've got problems with the front office. It's true that we're not happy with the club. It's true that we believe there's only one more year left in this, but let's make that year brilliant. There are a number of reasons why this parallel breaks down, and in fairness, I did point this out in the article, and that is that while it's true that you have, if you like, almost a Jerry Krause, Michael Jordan scenario with Bartomeu and Leo Messi, you don't have, unless, by the way, Luis Suarez is forced to stay, you don't have Messi, Scottie Pippen. You don't have that player alongside him. And, of course, in that Chicago Bulls last dance, you have the coach who has been with them all the way through this. This lot have got a brand new coach. This isn't the old gang. It's one of the old gang, nothing else. And so that's where the problem lies. And also, I mean, before we get into this, and it's a much bigger debate, there is also that question, which is, in personality terms, truth be told, Lionel Messi is not Michael Jordan.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me get this straight.
Analysis.
So I've just ruined my own article, is what you're saying. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So it is like The Last Dance until it's not like The Last Dance? I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Absolutely.
if we're going to break some of these parallels down and see some of the contrast and difference between the two storylines, I can tell you this. Hey, Barcelona was not winning. The Bulls were winning. Barcelona has not been winning.
Yes.
And just a little small, tiny little bit detail. This was a mess even before Messi announced whether he was leaving and coming back. This was a mess before. It's been sort of like the last dance for a while now for Barcelona, and that's part of the issue. The fact that they think that Lionel Messi is going to save them, and used to be making decisions based upon that. Well, it hasn't worked out just yet.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.